Hi, everyone, and welcome to Sandra Cruz Unfiltered. My name is Sandra Cruz, and today I'm going to talk about the phenomena of feeling lost. I'm sure that you're familiar with feeling lost, not really feeling like you belong somewhere, feeling like a part of you is missing, feeling like, yes, you're out of place, you're in the middle of the ocean, and you don't know where to turn to. This feeling is actually very common, but where does it come from? Let's look at this from a couple different perspectives. First of all, feeling lost is a very common companion when we're on our trauma healing journey. And here's why. We need an anchor that tells us where we are, who we are, and where we belong to. And while we're still stuck in our trauma, that trauma is our anchor. At that moment, that trauma is what defines us. The trauma is what shaped us, what made us into who we are today. Well, at least up until the point when we're starting to heal. And that is the point. Imagine you are on a ship, your ship, in a huge ocean. There's nothing but water. And your ship is anchored. That's where you're at. The anchor is stuck in your trauma. And as you start to heal, try and release a few things, and you're circling around your anchor, constantly in circles. You're circling and circling, and you're not going anywhere. You're still stuck in your trauma. But then you're starting to heal. You're starting to have revelations. You're starting to have aha moments. You're starting to release the first few triggers. And in doing that, you're lifting your anchor and you're starting to sail away from your trauma. You're leaving it behind. Pieces of it are no longer important. You have newfound freedom. And then, all of a sudden, you feel lost. You feel lost because you hoisted your anchor and your destination is not yet clear. So what happens then? You're feeling scared, which is normal when you're feeling lost. You don't know where you're going. You don't have a compass or know where any other land would be. So you let your anchor loose again, and it gets stuck in the rest of your trauma. So once again, your trauma is defining you, not as it used to, because parts of it you already released. But again, it's defining you, and you're starting to spin around your trauma, spin around, until you're starting to have another aha moment as you start to release, you start to have revelations, understandings, and you hoist your anchor again and you sail away. And before you know it, you're feeling lost again. That's what I mean by feeling lost as part of your healing journey, because you're leaving parts of yourself behind. The traumatized parts of you that no longer define who you are left with your trauma where they belong. But the new you is still developing. The empowered you, the courageous you, the new you that is fully healed is on the other side of the ocean. And to get there, is a journey of finding ourselves. So feeling lost is part of your trauma healing journey. And as terrifying as it is, it's also very exciting because it means you are no longer who you used to be. This is one way of feeling lost. The other one of feeling lost is also a feeling that something is missing. This is also rooted in trauma, mostly physical, sexual trauma. Because what happens when we're traumatized, we lose our connection from body and soul. It's like they're two different entities. Most of the time when we're dealing with sexual trauma, we're more focused on our soul and leave our body aside. It's like we don't want to feel, because trauma is not only emotional, it's physical. So we can recall every touch, every sensation. But we don't want to feel this. So we leave the body to its own devices, which means we disconnect from our body. And we're focused on our mind and our soul. But this means that a part of us is missing because in a way we're rejecting a part of us. So as we heal our trauma, the body and soul are naturally reconnecting. And once we healed, we will automatically feel whole again because we have reconnected body and soul and it's one unit again as it should be. So you see, feeling lost is not just something that doesn't make sense. No, it makes a lot of sense when you look at it. Feeling lost means there are parts of you haven't discovered yet. Feeling lost means you feel like you don't belong. Well, once you start healing from your past, you don't belong there anymore. But you have not found your future self yet because that is developing as you are releasing the old you. And so there are times when you feel lost. Now, when you're in a moment you're feeling lost, what is it that you can do? Grounding. Grounding is key, not just in everyday life, but especially when it comes to trauma. Because when you're grounded, you don't feel anxious. When you're grounded, you're not stressed. When you're grounded, you feel calm. You feel at peace. Because this grounding to the earth is what keeps you balanced. A very easy way to ground is having your feet on the ground with shoes, without, inside, outside, doesn't matter, have them on the ground, and envision that there are roots coming out from the soles of your feet, moving deep into the ground. And then you take deep breaths. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Make sure you draw as much breath in as you can so that you really fill your lungs until they almost burst, and then go deeper in your stomach. Really push your stomach out so that it's all full of air. And as you do that, you imagine that all the stress, all the anxiety, all this excess energy that is keeping you feeling icky or down or whatever, you collect it in your core. And as you breathe out, you push it down through your torso, through your legs, into the ground, and the roots will take it and suck it up. Now, I use this grounding technique a lot. I use it with my clients, I use it on myself. And when I do that for myself, I always envision that at the beginning, the energy is really dark and dingy. But the more often I breathe it out, the lighter and brighter the energy gets until it's like a very light gray. So that basically helps the energy along with releasing from my body. And if you do that and you get used to that, you will feel how much better you feel, how calm you feel, how relaxed, how peaceful. And the more often you do that, the more you teach your body and mind that being grounded is your natural state of being. Because when we're dealing with trauma, with triggers, with panic attacks, anxiety, all of that, it is so easy to get ungrounded. One little trigger, like someone says something you didn't expect, and you get anxious, you're ungrounded. And it's not always easy to realize that you're being anxious and that you need to ground. So practicing when you're feeling okay, when you're feeling good, to get used to feeling grounded is really going to help you get back to your natural state of being grounded faster when you really need it. Now, I do hope you found this video interesting. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And always remember, trauma is not a life sentence. You have the power to heal. Bye.